related to you and everybody that's not related to you. What he's hoping is that you miss all of this. That it all goes over your head. Because if you miss it, guess what? Not going to be right.
You won't live like you won't live.
You won't live like you know anything.
Right. You absolutely won't. You will dismiss it. You will call it things. You will rationalize it. At some point, you will disregard the Word of God. Because He's telling you something, and you're saying, I don't believe that.
If I go on Amtrak.com and I buy a ticket to Chicago, and I go into the train station with my e-ticket on the day that I'm supposed to leave, right?
Yes.
And I'm sitting there in the station because I have a ticket, but I fall asleep. And when I wake up, it's another day. Now there's still people in the station. Still people with tickets.
Jesus.
There's still people going other places. But relative to my ticket and my planning and the purpose of me leaving my house, going to the train station, what good does it do me to be in the train station if I'm going to miss the train? Do you know how many people are in the church,
Yes.
preparing to meet the Lord? They got their ticket on that old ship of Zion, and when the Lord returns, they're going to get on board, and so shall they ever be with the Lord. Because that's what the preacher said. Now they're in the station, but they're nodding off. They're in the station, they got a ticket, but they're drifting off to sleep. Because they don't exactly know when he's going to return. But if the enemy can get you to rock to sleep, if the enemy can get your attention diverted, if the enemy can get you to focus on anything else, and I mean anything else,
Yes.
anything else, and I mean anything else.
Yes.
Because the most important thing is your life, in your life, is your life. And if you miss the train, you're not going to have a life. Your life is over. There's no more life after that train. That train is going to take you to life eternal. You miss that train, it's over. There's no second train. There's no later flight. There's no other arrangements. There's no bus that follows the train just in case you miss it. The kids say stay woke. Now they mean it differently. They mean, just being socially aware. But what happens on Facebook is not what's going on in heaven. Stay aware of what the Spirit of God is saying to you.
Yes.
Trying to make you sensitive and aware and remind you of what you've already been told. But how soon we forget what we've already been told? How soon we forget what we promised? Let me not be so hard on anybody. Let me talk about myself. Do you know how many times I've told the Lord, I'm telling the Lord, if you get me out of this, I'll do that. If you could just see your way clear to open up this door, I won't do this anymore. You know how many times I've said that? Okay, how many times have you said it? Don't answer. Just think about it. How many times have you made a promise to the Lord that you didn't exactly keep? And he didn't even come up with the promise. You came up with the words and the terms of the agreement. Now the Lord said, He's got some simple terms. If you're faithful over a few things, I'll make you rule over many. But these few little things we can barely do because we can barely keep our own word, let alone His. of like Caleb, it's kind of like we're playing a game with God. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. But it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. And that's how we rate ourselves. We rate ourselves incrementally. We rate ourselves incrementally. Like, as long as I'm doing better this week than I was last week, as long as I'm doing better this year, this month than I was last month, as long as I'm getting better incrementally, then I'm good. That's how we measure ourselves. That's not how God measures us. Because God says either you're this or you're that. Either you're bond or you're free. Either you're the head or you're the tail. Either you're a believer or a non-believer. And being a believer isn't something you call yourself. Because even believers fear and tremble.
Non-believers.
Huh?
Even non-believers fear and tremble.
Same thing.
Slowly.
The word hit me this week. And I liken it to the car accident that I had. Through no mistake or fault of my own, I found myself in a ditch. And my car was broken. It was dented. My axle was broken. I couldn't drive it. It wouldn't go anywhere. So I found myself in a place where I could not move. And even to get out of the ditch, I needed help. And that help came at a great expense. Expense I had not planned to pay. I wasn't willing to pay. But nevertheless, I had to pay it to get out of the ditch. There was no other company that brought American cars out of Canada except one. And they charged a hefty fee because they knew that they were the only one. They said, Mr. Williams, we can pull you out of here and we can take you across the bridge. It'll be $700. $700 what? $700. 700 Canadian? Because at least if it's Canadian, you take that and you divide, you multiply it by 0.3. A third of the Canadian dollar is taken off in the exchange. You got $100 Canadian, you really don't have $100 American. You got maybe 70, maybe 68, depending on the day. Because in Canada, a dollar isn't a dollar that you're used to if you come from America. He said $700. Just to tow it. And then, that's just to tow it across the bridge. He wouldn't take it to my mechanic. I had to get another tow truck for that. And since my car has been at the mechanic hasn't called me. Under normal circumstances, I'd be concerned about that. The only communication I've had with the mechanic is when I called him. And I've called him twice. And every time, Mr. Williams, I was just about to call you. I couldn't find this part, so I'm waiting on this part. I got to find this part. I got it all wrapped up with the exception of this, and this. So I'll be calling you on Tuesday with a total. That was 2 weeks ago. I don't know what all was done. I don't know what it costs. And I should be wringing my hands, walking across the floor, going, Jesus, 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 Jesus. Because it kind of doesn't matter what he tells me it's going to cost. You've been in that situation? Like, whatever it costs, if you don't know, sleep well at night. Because it's really not going to make a difference what he says it costs, because
I ain't gotta know it.
I ain't got it. I don't have it. I don't have it. If he says this, I don't have that. If he says this, I don't have that. It doesn't matter, because I don't have it. So I haven't really been too quick to call him the last couple of weeks, because the car might be ready, but
You're not.
I'm not ready. And unless the Lord does something in the meantime to get me ready, it's kind of superfluous for me to have a conversation with the mechanic, because we can have a conversation, but that's all we can have. See, there can't be an exchange. Right now, my car is being held hostage by an abductor that hasn't sent me a ransom yet. Y'all don't hear me. But that's how I was made to feel when the word hit me. The word hit me like this tree hit me, and I didn't hit the tree hit me. I wasn't ready for the tree, I wasn't planning for the tree, but I found myself hit. You ever felt hit? You ever planned on a good day but you got hit? Something hit you that you weren't planning on hitting you, and all you felt was hit? Do you know what you do after you get hit?
You reach for the place that got hit. You reach for the place that got hit.
Reach for what?
The place that got hit.
Well, after you get hit, there's nothing left for you to do but just be hit. You know, something hits you, all you can do is say ouch or cry or something. Get it out. Get it over. Because you're hit. Question number one, did you die?
No.
You didn't die. You just got hit. This, my dears and sirs, is the message. Now, I'm going deep, and I'm going to give you some scripture. But this is the message. When you got hit, did you get dead? Talk to me. Do you know how many times in my life I've been hit? How many times in your life have you been hit? How many times have you in life have you come in contact with something that was coming your way that you didn't see coming? Did you die? When you got hit, did you die? When your car was totaled, did you die? When your boyfriend quit you, when your girlfriend left you, did you die? When you got fired on your job, did you lose your life? Touch your neighbor and say, neighbor. All you are was hit. In other words, stuff can happen to you. It can. You know how I know? Because it has. Stuff has happened to you. Say, stuff has happened to me.
Stuff has happened to me.
And I'm still here.
I'm still here.
Give the Lord a hand clap. I don't know about you, but that says more about God than it does about you. Because God is in control of everything. And if something hit me and I'm still alive, I can't thank myself that I'm still alive. But I can thank God. And guess what? I can also consider the plausibility. It's very, very plausible and most probable that the reason why something hit you is because God let it. Sometimes it takes an experience like something hitting you for you to throw your hands up and thank God. Oh, God's going to get praise. Amen. He's going to get praise. God gets praise by virtue of experience. Your life and things that happen in it brings you to the point of understanding that God is deserving of praise. Now, maybe you're not there yet, but you will be. And when enough things hit you, y'all won't talk back to me. I said when enough things hit you, you will draw the conclusion that God is worthy of all praise. Huh? You stop thinking about you and you start thinking about Him. Because if you've been hit, Miguel, if you've been hit and you're still alive, guess what that means? That stuff in life can't take you out. Well, some things can, but that's not the design of the stuff that hits you. They can leave you with a scar, they can leave you with pain, but if you're not dead, then you're supposed to live. And if you're supposed to live, if that's the plan, stick with the plan. Do you hear me? Amen. If that's the plan, that means there is a plan. You're not wandering along aimlessly trying to find your way. There is a way, whether you found it a way or not. There's a plan for your life. There's a destiny that's designed for you. There's a path with your name on it. And if you don't know that, guess what? You're going to get hit. You're going to keep getting hit until you figure that out. Until you figure out that I'm supposed to be alive. There must be some reason why I'm still alive. Whether you know it or not, there's got to be a reason. Because guess what? There's no reason for me to be here. I remember being 19 years old. I'm on the Davidson Freeway in Detroit, Hamtramck. Truck cuts me off, side swipes me, car spins around, hits a lamppost, and I'm looking at the car all crashed up through the sunroof. And inside the sunroof, inside the car, is my body. And I go, oh, that's me. I'm dead. I am outside. I am having a literal out of the body experience. What do you do when you're not on your body? Well, you keep on traveling. And you leave your body behind. I'll talk to you after. I know this by experience. I'm going to tell you what I read. When you die, it's over. Long story short, I heard a voice say, put him back. And I go back through the sunroof, back into my body. And I remember getting out of the car in disillusionment, like, did that just happen? And I'm looking at the car, and the car's looking at me. And the people come and they tow the car away because it's all mangled and this, that, and the other. And I left some stuff in the car. Weeks later, I got in this neck brace, because I didn't break my neck, but I had severe whiplash. I couldn't move my neck. I moved like this for weeks. Go to the impound to get the stuff out of the car that was left in the car. And they were like, oh, how many people died in that car? That car, we saw that car, ooh, that was a messed up crash. You know who died in that car? One person in the car. And I don't know technically if you can say that I died. Well, I did die, but I was brought back, so technically I did die, but I'm alive. Why am I still alive? God must have work for me to do. I didn't know what that work was at that time. I'm 19 years old. God's trying to teach me by virtue of some life lessons. And sometimes, Cameron, sometimes wins don't look like wins. The problem with playing games like we do with God, is whenever you play a game, there's always a winner, and there is always a loser. And if you're playing games with God, God ain't gonna lose. I don't care what quarter it is. I don't care what time it is. I don't care how deep in the game you are. God is not ever going to lose. And if you're playing games with God, if you're rolling the dice with God, if you're playing craps with God, God is not going to lose. You may feel like you're getting by, but you're not winning. There's a book that says how all of this is going to go down. And in that book, it says God wins. That's the only way it's going to happen. God does not lose. He's going to win. And if you're playing games, what's my life? It's not your life. It's His life. Everything that you have, the reason why you're here, that's not a game, that's God. You may think you have time, but you don't own time. You don't possess time. God possesses time. God made time. Time belongs to Him. It don't belong to you. You can't do what you want with your time. Matthew chapter number 6. Here we go. Matthew 6. Verse number 6. 6 and 6. Somebody got it?
But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut the door, thy door, pray to thy Father, which is in secret.
Pray to thy Father, which is in secret. Let me just hold up there. Because I already gave the conclusion of the matter. I'm kind of going backwards, and I'm filling in blanks. Normally I just preach and bring a conclusion and wrap it up with a summary. I already gave you the summary. I'm kind of going back and I'm filling in. It's not the way I like to do it. It's not the way I usually do it. But it's the way that it's moving me. It's the way that I'm being moved this particular Sunday in the delivery. He said thou. That means everybody can't do it this way because there's not a whole lot of people that know to do it this way. When you pray, it's just go into thy closet. It doesn't mean physical closet necessarily, but it does say something about a door. So it's something that you're supposed to do privately. You're supposed to pray privately. Now, what would be the impetus of praying privately? What's wrong with praying publicly? What's wrong with people seeing you pray? Why you got to go home to your house and go somewhere in your house where people can't see you and close the door? Because real relationships with God begin with you and God. Real relationships with God begin with intimacy. Intimacy doesn't mean sexual. But it does mean non-public. And you will never know God unless you approach Him intimately. You will never know there's so much to know about God. There's so much to Him. But I will never know Him unless I open myself up to Him. Now, I'm a private person. I don't open up very easily. But I can't expect God to chase me down and show me Himself for him to get my attention. The Bible says if you want a friend, you got to act like somebody that wants to be your friend. Right?
Amen.
If you want a wife, you got to act like a husband so she that is already a wife will be attracted to you. You with me?
Amen.
And then that attraction has to be born out of some action. In other words, I can't expect Amisha to make an educated decision about selecting me as a husband unless I show her something non-sexual but intimate. I have to open up to her. I have to begin to share things about myself. I have to put her on a platform where she understands what she's getting herself into.
Amen.
Are you listening? And vice versa. I can't be the only one doing the talking. I have to be able to say, you know what? When I was this high, I said, you know, my wife is going to play the piano. She's going to have long hair. What else was there? And speak Spanish. Guess what? She don't play the piano. She don't speak Spanish. She got long hair. So 1 out of 3. I have to determine what's really important to me, not in the eyes of a child, like when I make that criteria, in the eyes of a man going forward. Because I learned that speaking Spanish isn't that important. It was on my list, but it ain't on my list. When you go from a boy to a man, your list changed. Shaman Ahaya. When you go from a girl to a woman, your list changed. Your little girl, tall, dark, and handsome was good enough for you. You turn into a woman, you learn more about the world, financially secure, good credit score. What's that to do with handsome, girl? I'm trying to live. I'm trying to have years and a future. I'm not trying to have a little trophy that's on my arm that everybody says, ooh, you done good. I'm trying to get some furniture. You will never know God until you have intimate time with Him. And intimate time with Him means you've got to depart from everything else. You've got to turn your soap opera off. See, this is the problem with distractions. You can have God in your life, but God won't be long in your life. Just like, what kind of girlfriend is going to be around you if you date other people? What kind of boyfriend is going to be around for long if you got your eyes on 5 and you're trying to make your decision? If you don't know by now, you will never, ever know me. But you got to get to know me, and in order to get to know me, you got to clear the playing field and focus. You can't share intimacy with 5 people. Jesus told the woman at the well, who's your husband? It's kind of a trick question. Because she wasn't married. Although she was acting like the man that was back at the house, she was acting like that's her husband. Jesus said, not only are you not married, but you got 5 husbands. Why do you say that? Because you are intimately involved with 5 men. You don't have a commitment to any of them, but you've given yourself to all of them. Something's wrong about a house that's divided. Something's wrong about you giving yourself to several. Because you no longer have anything that's private when you make the private public. When everybody got a piece, you don't have anything left to give anybody.
Right.
Can I talk practical and plain? Kids, that's why regardless of what your peers do, regardless of what the custom, whatever this generation does. That's why you want to save yourself. You want to save your intimacy so that it's special with that special person that you're going to share the rest of your life with. Any person that has a piece of you has something that you can't get back. And except the Lord intervene, because you gave it away, it's gone. People wonder why they have problems later in life after they've played the field and this, that, and the other, and now they're going to quote unquote settle down. You don't have anything to give anybody because you've given it all away. If you bake the pie, and it's the best pie in the world, but you let everybody else try a little slice.
Try your pie.
You listening? When you find that special person to share your pie with, you gotta have a pie. Maybe.
Crumbs.
What you trying to give me a half a pie for? First of all, that's not even an acceptable gift. Listen, you move to the neighborhood. I want you to have this. I have a pie? Really? Save the whole pie.
All right.
There's tangents here that I'm being pulled at, but I got to remember who's in the audience. I could go a few different ways, but I'm trying to. Which is why you want to spend intimate time with that person with whom you hope to connect. Because you not only find out what's there, you also find out what's not there. And I've never met a woman. I got some women in the room. I've never met a woman that wanted a piece of man. Because you know what in the world, you know what they say?
A piece of man is better than none.
A piece of man is better than
None at all.
no. Let me tell you, no, it ain't.
No, it ain't.
No. I don't know who told you that. I don't know where that came from. But that quote right there needs to go back where it came from. Because when God does something, He does it in whole. He does it complete. You listening? Why would you join yourself to a piece of a man? And that's all you will ever have. Is a piece of a man. You can never be satisfied in marriage with a piece of a marriage. You can't be satisfied. You will never be satisfied with that. But how can you enter in without the goal of knowing that there's something whole available to you? Let me give you some hope. When you look in the mirror, I pray that you see, when you look in the mirror, I pray that you see something broken. I pray you do. You know why it's broken?
Why?
Because something hit you. You're broken because something hit you. You've got experience and things in your life and stuff has happened. You're broken. But you're not dead. And because you're not dead, there's hope. There's hope for you because there's healing in God. If you don't find God, you will always be broken. And the picture of the mirror is all you will ever see. But knowing that there is a God and you are alive, you can make a connection that will heal your brokenness. And you will be whole again. Because that's what He does. Jesus was in the synagogue and read half of the scripture. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me and has anointed me to preach the gospel of peace, to bind bind up the brokenhearted. That's what he does. To give sight to the blind. That's what he does. I don't care how broken you are or where, God's going to fix you. But you've got to be open in your brokenness. You've got to be willing to... I know being broken makes you want to cover up your scars. I know being broken makes you want to cover up your past. I know being broken makes you want to forget about in your mind what's still present, ever present in your heart. Somebody can't even love you because you act like you don't even know how to love because of your brokenness. Go find a closet somewhere. Get to a place where you're not distracted. Cut the music off, cut everything off. And open yourself up to the Lord. Because that's the only way that you're going to get fixed. Your therapist isn't going to fix you. Your doctor isn't going to fix you. They're going to prescribe something that might make you feel better, but you're not going to be fixed. The intimacy with God is going to have the result of healing. You will not be the same. And if you do this often, watch this. If you do this often, if you go into this closet and you see the God who's in secret is going to restore that secret place, that secret thing, that thing that you don't want to talk about, the thing that you want to hear about, the thing that you can't express because sometimes it was so bad, sometimes it was so long ago, sometimes it was so far deeping and so far hard hitting. You don't even want to think about it. You don't remember it. But if you share it with the Lord. I say go to a group and therapeutically share. If you share it with the Lord. I said reach out and find other people like you that if you share it with the Lord. He that seeth in secret will reward you openly. You're going to come out that closet with results. You're going to come out that closet with healing and deliverance. You won't have to fast 50 days to get it. It may take you 50 days to open up. You might go in that closet the first time, and I've never done this before, and you might be a little bit open, but the more open you are, the more God you'll get. Am I preaching to anybody? Am I in the right room? Do I have the right message for the right people? The more open you are, the more God you will get. Amen. Well, Pastor Michael, I've been going to church all my life. And? How open have you been in these past few years? Are you wearing God like lotion? Just on the surface, just on your skin, just walk around just so you're not chapped and chafed? Are you taking God like a salve, so you look better? So he can beautify? Or are you eating the whole roll? Are you ingesting this thing? Are you chewing it up and swallowing it? It may be bitter to the taste, but it's sweet to your belly. God never required, neither did he ask you to be spiritual. You can be spiritual without having God. I hear the word spiritual, I want to throw up. Spiritual is a version of a person trying not to be human, and everybody's human. The word human comes from the word humus. You know what humus is? Dirt. Humus is dirt. Everybody's dirt. But if you're God's dirt, you got value. Because something can grow out of you. If you're God's dirt, you can participate in there being fruit born. But just being human doesn't mean that there's any seed. aspect of it. God doesn't want you to be religious. He doesn't want you to be spiritual or religious. Religious just simply means that you practice a discipline. That's all religious is. Religion is this repetitive practicing a discipline. That has nothing to do with God. Just because you know when to stand up and when to bow down and when to get on your knees and when to get off your knees and when to sit and when to stand up and what to recite at the proper time doesn't mean that you got religion. Not with God. My wife and I were talking this morning. Do you know that the word religion is in the Bible? It isn't that God doesn't want you to have religion. He wants the religion that you have to be pure. And the discipline that you follow and repeat is His. Pure religion and undefiled is this. That you go to Sunday school and YPWW and the Sunshine Band, and that you're in the seat, in the pew, whenever the doors swing open? No, that's religious. But that's not pure religion. Because if I get my body to be burned, and I speak in the tongues of men of angels, and I don't have charity, it profiteth me nothing. I am as a sounding brass and tinkling cymbal if I don't have charity, if I don't have the love of God in me. And I can't get the love of God in me without being intimate with Him. Not sexual, but close. That means He knows all my secrets. Because I'm open. I trust Him. The more open you are, the more that you will receive. I don't know about you, but I don't trust everybody. Anybody feel like me? But when a person has shown me that they're trustworthy, I begin to open up. And sometimes that doesn't matter. Now, some people tell me things about themselves. I never tell them about me. So it's not reciprocity. Just because you tell me you're all don't mean you're getting on with me. That's not trust. Because some people are just like that. They just go up to strangers, you know. My husband, I just can't. You sit on the bus and people just telling you their life story. I'm like, oh, mother, you dumping all of this on me for? Because it's on their chest. They got to get rid of it. They have so much malarkey. That's gonna rub off on a dump off. They're gonna dump off on anybody that has an ear. But you have to quit playing with God. You've got to get to the place where you realize that God is serious, that this isn't a game. Because in the game of life, God wins. And I don't care what kind of win it is. And this is where I'll get back to Cameron. I don't know why Cameron. Every win may not look like a win. Because some wins are bloody. Some wins are the result of a fight. I mean a knock down, drag out fight. If you're still in the boxing, you look in the boxing ring, if it was a really, really good fight, just looking at the people, you don't know who won. Just looking at the guys, because both of them, they got one eye shut and nose all bloody. Did you see the other guy? They both look messed up. It might come down to a vote, it might come down to points, but somebody's going to win, and every win you don't come out of it looking pretty. Some wins are bloody. And just because you're banged up and bashed up, just because you're in pain and you're hurting, doesn't mean that you're losing. I need you to listen at me good. Because the word will tell you, if you're being battered right now, you're losing. What you need to go do is go someplace where there's not a fight. But I need you to understand, the purpose of you being in the fight is to win. Because you will never know what victory looks like unless you fight. And there's some things around you, my dears and sirs, that are worth fighting for. Now, you might be in love but not a fighter. I guarantee you this. I guarantee you this. If you're a lover, not a fighter, you're going to learn when something hits you.
How to fight.
Hmm?
How to fight.
You're going to learn how to fight. Or you're going to lose. I said last week, if you live what you love, you will love what you have. If you love what you have, you'll always have it. You'll always love what you have. Guess what? If you love me, you're going to fight for me. If I love you, I'm going to fight for you. If there's a fight, you can count on me. Because of love. If God loves you, He's going to fight for you. He's going to fight to the point where He wins. And when He wins, if He's fighting for you, you win. Now love Him back. Love Him back by fighting for Him. Find something to love greater than yourself. So you have more impetus to win. More than yourself. And you will have more than just you. The only way I can be happy with Jesus, and it's just me and Him, is if I fight for Him. Because He's worth fighting for. And please understand, when you are in the army of the Lord, you're going to get hit. Not for you to fail, not for you to fall, but for you to fight. If you prayed and asked God to give you a family, God gave you a family, fight for that family. Fight. Well, I don't know what to do. On Monday there was trouble, and on Tuesday it was more trouble. And on Wednesday, guess what? There was more trouble. Well, there must be something that's worth fighting for, because wouldn't nobody want it if it wasn't worth something? Ain't nobody trying to break into a old broken down Crown Victoria that's rusted on through the doors. You can drive that car, leave it running. Ain't nobody gonna mess with it, because don't nobody want it. But please understand this. Sometimes the opposition that we receive in our life is because somebody wants our life more than us. And you can call me what you want to, but I'm gonna tell you, Satan is real. And if God is real, and He's a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him, Satan is real, and he wants to steal, kill, and destroy. That's all he wants to do, and he's doing it. Don't fault him for doing his job and you not on yours. Stay busy. Get busy with him. Do what you're supposed to do. He's doing what they told you he would do. Why are you acting brand new? Why are you acting like you don't know what to do? You don't know how to pray. You don't know how to warn us, or you don't know how to put on the whole armor of God. What's wrong? You forgot how to pray? I'll tell you right now. The devil don't want to see me and Amisha together. Because he knows what that looks like. He knows the purpose of God, the design of God. If that gets carried out and that gets walked out, he's in big trouble. Satan don't want you two together. He don't want that. But he's a deceiver. So when he hits you, it won't look like Satan. Well, it's him. Trust me. Caleb, Satan don't want you to grow up. Not no God-fearing child, because God-fearing child turn into God-fearing men. He don't want you growing up. He wants you distracted. He wants you deposed. He wants you anything that you can be, other than what you're being taught to be. Which is why we train up children in the way that they should go. So they have the option of belief, because it's an option. That's why we have drug children. They didn't ask me if I wanted to go. They drugged me to church. I didn't have a choice. I didn't want to go. I had to go. So when I became old, I got something in me. At least I got an option now. You're saying, trying to tempt me with something. I got something in me that's going, no. I got options that were placed there. that I can now choose should I choose. But I now have the option because I was given the option. The knowledge and the wisdom is there because I was instructed in it. I didn't learn it myself, it was taught me. And thank God for that teaching because it helped me through to navigate some choices. Some choices I made, some choices I didn't make. Some choices I didn't make and learned I should have done what I knew. But I had that option because I had that education. And I learned that life was not a game. And I can't afford to lose because God's always going to win. God is always going to win. He's never going to lose. So I've got to make sure that I'm on his side. There's a lot of sides out there. There's a lot of arguments out there. But if I'm not on his authentic side, if I'm not on it, how do I learn what's authentic? You learn what's authentic through intimacy. That's when you know whether it's real. Give me the rest of that. Matthew 6 and D clause 6.
But thou, when thou prayest, into thy closet, and when thou hast shut the door, thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions, as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking.
I don't have time to get to that part, or to go into that part, because we think we're praying when we say, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. We think we're doing something. What he's saying is don't do